Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan and welcome to the latest episode of our entertainment show. As you know, here we're previewing and airing live on air of the upcoming TV series and movies debuting in Ireland this month. And up for a special feature today is a new TV series. It's a sort of a mini documentary coming out here on channel Netflix in Ireland and the UK. It's all about the Colombian soccer team and their road to the World Cup in 1994. So the sort of highs and lows in terms of how that sort of came about and the sort of backstories of all the characters within that Colombian soccer team. It's the in-depth life sort of features of the success, the highs, the lows, the dramas of that sort of team and the rise to dominance as well. And my guest this evening is a renowned actress from Colombia. She stars in that final score. Her name is the one and only Laura Osma. Laura, first of all, great to have you with us this evening.
Hello, how are you? How's everything? Thank you so much for inviting me.
Laura, first of all, I'm just going to ask you, the final score, how did that opportunity come about for you to get involved with such a project that probably means so much to you given your Colombian heritage?
Well, I was in Italy doing another series, and they called me and they wanted to know if I was able to do that audition, and I was very busy by that time, so I did it. And I don't know, the director fell in love with the decisions I made in the audition, and he just said, you are for the role, you are ready for the role. So yeah.
And Laura, can you tell us a bit about your character that you play in the final score?
Well, she's Kike's girlfriend. She, if we see the series, we watch the series. It's not a lot of background about her, but is she's a girl from the neighborhood, you know, and she's very ambitious and very driven. And she had this little chance to date Kike, and she wants everything, you know. It's a very she's very how can I say this? She's very she's very driven. She wants to leave her neighborhood. She wants to improve, and she saw something in Kike that it might help her, and yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So basically it was a story, an opportunity for her to get out of the sort of slums where she was living and experiencing a new life, was it?
Yeah, she's very ambitious, I would say. And also, well, it's if you see the character, it's very funny because it's parallel to the story. So it's not about Andres Escobar's story and Kike Vélez's story. It's also how was the reality for some woman in Colombia by that time, you know, and she shows what what was happening in Colombia by that time about the girls when she's with Escobar and all of that. And it was just an opportunity for her, and they wanted to portray that.
And Laura, can you tell us what the working week was like on the set of the final score? Was it a long shoot?
No, it was normal. Like we did 10 hours time. I remember it was very short. I think it was just 2 months of shooting, and we were working, well, for me, because I am just in the third, fourth, and fifth episode. So for me it was fine. I just had a couple scenes, but for Kike and for Juan Pablo Urrego, I would say they were like all the time working, and it was very hard for them.
And obviously, you're probably aware of the story of the Colombian soccer team. And when you heard this sort of story in terms of doing that sort of research that was needed for that movie, did you look back into that story again to sort of remind you of what happened?
Well, I didn't have any idea, you know. I am not a huge fan of soccer, so I knew some things about what was happening in Colombia by that time, that they were how do you say, making bets for soccer players if they win or something like that. But I didn't have any idea, so I had to do my research, and obviously it was a reality about my country by the time the middle 90s, and yeah.
I suppose the timing of the release of this, the final score, coming out roughly when the World Cup is coming out around at the moment, a sort of great sort of timing. It's getting international press all over the world in terms of sort of its backstory. Is it a sort of busy time for you at the moment in terms of talking about your experience in the final score, given obviously the World Cup and Netflix are really cashing in on that sort of opportunity at the moment?
Well, yeah, it's a little bit busy. I'm also start doing another movie, so I have to do like a little bit of, you know, half and a half.
And Laura, in terms of the final score and being involved in such a project like that and representing your country in an international sort of stage, is that something that you're particularly proud of, being involved in Colombian projects that go sort of worldwide?
Yeah. It's well, it's very, I don't know, I feel very proud to represent my country, and you're right that this is a Final Score is a TV series on Netflix that represents soccer, and right now we're gonna see the World Cup, so people, I think they're gonna watch this TV show and know about a little bit of the soccer Colombian story. So it's very interesting.
And Laura, finally from me to you, it's probably a busy time at the moment. You mentioned about shooting films. Have you any other projects in the works that are coming out later on this year, and that we might be able to see you in our TV screens or the start of the New Year's, whether it be a TV series, whether it be movies that you might be able to tell us a little bit about without giving too much away?
Yes, I think next year, I don't know when, it's gonna be released a movie in on HBO. It's also a Colombian story, so yeah, I the name is what's the name? I don't remember the name. El Del otro lado del jardín, that's the name in Spanish. I don't know how it's going to be in English, so I rather don't translate it. So yeah, it's going to be that, and I'm going to start shooting a movie on January, so yeah.
And Laura, Osma, have you ever been to Ireland? Have you ever set foot in the Green Isles of Ireland? And is somewhere would you like to visit in the near future?
I would love to go. I would love to go. No, I haven't. I love Ireland. I love the culture. I met beautiful people when I was living in New Zealand from Ireland. So yeah, very happy to go and see and drink beer, of course.
And on that note, Laura, for the final 30 seconds, I'm going to turn it over to you now. And you might tell all our viewers and listeners why they should tune in and watch the final score and what's in store for them.
Say that again, please.
What's in store for them in terms of, for our listeners, our audience, if they turn on their TV screens, turn on Netflix, turn on the final score, what will they see on their TV screens?
They're gonna see part of the Colombian story, Colombian history. They're gonna see how was the context to go to the World Cup for us, the difficulties and the opportunities we had. For sure, we don't gonna be in this World Cup right now in this year, but you're gonna enjoy a funny story and very sad story, and how difficult was for Colombia to be in a World Cup.
On that note, Laura, Osma, from me, Jim Conlan, speaking to you today, Laura. An absolute pleasure for speaking to you today from all the sunny joys of sunny Colombia, from Ireland. It is indeed a very, very small world indeed. But Laura, Osma, thanks for taking the time to speak to us today. We wish you all the best in your future endeavours, and hopefully, please God, we might touch base again sometime in the near future. And when you do get some time off in the near future, do put Ireland on the bucket list for places to visit.
Thank you so much.